And Metrolinx has wasted no time getting around to the removal of these trees here at Osgoode Hall, which is located at the northeast corner of Queen Street West and University Avenue. And I think my presence has got the attention of security who weren't over here when I entered the property. There's also a protest going on in the background there. And these trees have been a hotly contested subject in the city as of late. They are part of Osgoode Hall, which was completed in 1832 and upgraded in the 1850s and is a heritage site and occupied by the Law Society of Ontario. And they worked to get an injunction in place to stop the removal of these trees. Metrolinx is the provincial transit agency tasked with building the Ontario line, and they need those grounds for a future subway station. But last night, or rather yesterday, the Supreme Court of Ontario lifted that injunction. And sure enough, they've moved in and started removing the trees today. And I forgot my normal introduction. It is Saturday, February 11th. The time is 5:08 p.m. and the temperature right now is around 3 degrees Celsius. And this here is Queen Street West. And for this one, I'm going to take a casual walk around the entertainment district. I think what I'll do is I'll walk over to John Street, then head down to Front, then over to Spadina, up to King, and then over to St. Andrew Station. And the Law Society is making the argument that the removal of these trees would cause irreparable harm to this heritage property. And Metrolinx said they would explore all their available options, but it appears they didn't. And they've just gone ahead and started removing the trees. So what they're doing is they're building a station underneath here that will, rather an extension of Osgoode Station. So there'll be two lines, the Ontario line as well as the university side of line 1. There's a large protest taking place. And on this corner over here, we have the Campbell House, another heritage property. And that will go untouched by the construction. There's another look at the site. I can see both sides of the argument. On one hand, it doesn't look like they really exhausted all their options as to where they could locate the connection to the new subway platform being built. At the same time, there are certainly beautiful trees and worth protecting. And Metrolinx doesn't exactly have a good reputation for getting transit projects completed on time. Just ask anyone who lives along Eglinton Avenue or has a business there. That has been a perpetual nightmare that is still continuing and should have opened up a few years ago, and there's still no opening in sight. And here's the Campbell House Museum. So this is west along the north side of Queen Street West. And this wouldn't exactly have been an appropriate place to build a subway entrance either. And we have a heritage building on that side, and the Four Seasons Center for the Performing Arts over there. Apparently, due to the way this area is configured, they won't be able to connect the two subway platforms directly underground like we see at St. George Station. So the entertainment district spans to the south around Lakeshore Boulevard and to the north along Queen Street West here. And to the east, which is behind me, it starts at University Avenue.
I thought the point of
and to the west it ends at Spadina. And we've had a nice clear day. Although I think the sun will be dropping in about 40 minutes. This here is St. Patrick Street.
So funny.
That girl?
No.
Oh no, you mean?
It will be the best.
And this is actually the first downtown Toronto walk I've recorded since I returned from Montreal. I've just been kind of taking it easy, getting over a cold. I'm still not quite there yet, but getting better. And in addition to that tree controversy there was at the start of this video, there's been a whole lot going on. Last night, the mayor of Toronto stepped down from his position. And we've seen the premier of the province mired in scandal. Many of his developer friends apparently had attended a stag and doe for his daughter's wedding. Those very developers just happened to be privy to information that the Greenbelt would be up for grabs. So, scandal at the mayor's office at Queen's Park. Well, I don't think our corrupt premier really sees this as a challenge. And up here in Canada, or at least in this part, Netflix has gone through with their plans to eliminate password sharing, and a lot of people have been canceling their Netflix in droves. If you try to use the service from outside of your household, you have to pay $8 a month per user. Foodorama. Got a food counter. That's a new addition to Queen Street West. Dude, stop kicking our sign. There's the old Chum building, now occupied by Bell Globe Media.
I thought of a funny idea for here. What you thought about? What did you think?
Hold on.
And we've made it to John Street, Grange Park just to the north of here. And Queen Street West looks rather busy tonight. And Mazika Cafeteria and Cafe. That used to be a Second Cup. So the entertainment district has a few performing arts venues, namely the Royal Alex, Roy Thompson Hall, and the Princess of Wales Theatres. There's also a couple of movie theaters, Scotiabank Theatre there, and the TIFF Bell Lightbox just south of there. And this here is Richmond Street. There's a comedy club called Yuck Yucks just off in that direction. And that is where I went to see Avatar 2, I guess. That's what it's called. I saw it at the IMAX 3D theater in there. It was good, but overly long. There's the ballroom. And that is a bowling bowling pub. I can't get my words out tonight. Actually, haven't had 10,000 steps in a day all week. And there's where it used to be a Jack Astor's. A chain restaurant that screams the suburbs. And there is Marked. There used to be a Milestones in there, another suburban style family restaurant. But that whole building will be coming down soon. I think even including where this Marshall's is. That opened up originally as a Sega Palladium. And it later became a monster nightclub called Circa. There's plans to put condos on that site. And a smaller movie theater will go in where the Scotiabank Theatre is. And there used to be a great pub right in here called The Office. That closed up, and they also closed their King Street West location, or rather King Street East, just east of Yonge Street. That Hooters has a sign saying now taking Super Bowl reservations. I guess the big game is tomorrow. So this is Adelaide Street. And this stretch of John Street has actually been designated a cultural corridor. Toronto starts here, mervish.com. Burgers and fries forever. It's not a bad deal. Too bad it only runs from 11:30 until 3 p.m. There's La Carnita, a Mexican restaurant. When that opened, they initially built out their patio over the sidewalk on public space, and they got in trouble for that. And we've made it to King Street West. So I'll be walking along here a little later in this video, making my way back towards University Avenue. This is interesting. That sign there very clearly says no left turns. And this car here has its left turn signal on. What will it do? Did the right thing. I guess they didn't see the sign until it was almost time to turn, or they just decided not to try to get away with it. And there's the CN Tower. And this here is Mercer Street. And there's a lot of new condos going up here. That used to be home to the Second City, a Toronto comedy theater. And during the pandemic, they temporarily relocated up on Danforth, way out on the East End. But they've since moved into their new home at 1 York. And this is Wellington Street. You can see the sign, Toronto Entertainment on the street sign there. And for as long as I can remember, there's been iPhone advertisements around this block of hydro transformers.
I would be able to say no to like all the Danish pastry stuff. Like you don't.
And I could continue going straight here and head up or over to an area where you could enter the CN Tower, and you'll find the Sky Dome and Ripley's Aquarium. As well as the Steam Whistle Brewery and the Rec Room. It looks like this next few blocks is going to be a bit challenging. I look to my right, and that is walking directly into the sun as it's setting. I think it'll be a little better if I go along the south side of Front Street here. Got to be careful not to look directly at it. Yeah, I think I made the right call on that one. So this is west, along the south side of Front Street West. So I'm just going to walk over to Spadina and then head north up to King and then over to St. Andrew. And those two buildings there were the subject of some mockery online. They're a good example of buildings that look nothing like renderings that they were using to sell the project. And there's some very tall buildings planned for this lot just on the left here. Buildings of, or 4 buildings, 44 to 58 stories. And the street here is Blue Jays Way coming up, which is really the south end of Peter Street. It was renamed after the Blue Jays' first World Series victory in the early 90s. North of King, it's still Peter Street. And they also renamed the final block to the east along Bremer Boulevard to Raptors Way after the last Raptors championship, well, last and only. And the Sky Dome over there is undergoing some rather exciting and impressive renovations. And they're doing that in phases over a number of years. All right, now I'm walking directly into the sun. This is kind of neat. There's a Pizza Nova back in the early 2000s. These were the first buildings to be part of the City Place neighborhood. And this area around Front Street was just a sea of parking lots. If there was ever a Blue Jays game, that's where people tended to park. I think GO train service to Union Station has improved since then. And there's the well. I remember I was in my early 20s when this went up. I had a friend who moved in here seeing these retail outlets. And it's this stretch here that I decided I really don't like new condo developments in terms of what they bring to the street environment. Just cookie cutter retail spaces there. You have to make your sign fit neatly into the provided space. There's really no room for any character that you see on older buildings. It's just kind of a generic, sterile street front there. That's something we still get wrong to this day. All right, so this here is Spadina Avenue. Billionaire murders. I was reading that star sign before it disappeared. And this here is Clarence Square Park. So this is the western edge of the entertainment district. And the views of the CN Tower from Spadina are becoming less and less as new towers pop up. I kind of like the way those look over on Wellington over there. And we've got a police car with its lights on just up ahead. This is a traffic stop. This would be the first one I've recorded all year. I only see one or two of these a year when I make these videos. You really got to do something wrong to get pulled over in this town. And here's King Street West. So off in that direction later on, there'll be a lot of nightlife going on. I'm gonna walk east here at Wongking over to University and finish up at St. Andrew Station. And it's nice to get some fresh air in and rack up some steps. I've realized I'm certainly far from 100% while recording this. Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. That'll be at the Princess of Wales Theatre. There's an excellent Thai restaurant in the base of that condo there called Cowson Road. Operated by the same folks who are behind Pai and Suko Thai. And they all specialize in northern Thai food. Although Cowson Road is a former backpacker enclave in Bangkok. It's not really in the northern part of Thailand. But it is a pretty big tourist destination. In fact, I have a few videos up from Cowson Road. And after I ate there, I went to this place. And we're back to Blue Jays Way. And this Hyatt on the left used to be a Holiday Inn. Here in the old Canadian Westinghouse building. It's now the home of the King Blue Hotel. I think that's a rather costly hotel per night.
At that minute, now I'm like, whatever.
And coming up just on the right is Restaurant Row. Which has been getting shorter due to these condos going in. I wonder if the new retail will be restaurants. Fence. I think this was a Zteca burrito shop for a period of time. And back to John Street. Some good driving. And on the left we have the Princess of Wales Theatre. $50 same-day rush seats. But I have a feeling there will be a whole bunch of service charges buried behind that 59 bucks. And you'll end up spending 80 something. I'm sure Ticketmaster will have their grubby paws in there somehow. Oh, it looks like Roxy on King is closed up. That was a pool hall and bar. And before that, it was a location, the only Toronto location of Dunn's, a Montreal-based restaurant known for their smoked meat sandwiches. There are plans to put a number of tall Frank Gehry design towers along this stretch of King. So perhaps Roxy's lease was up and they just decided to pull the plug rather than rent out in a spot or rent out a spot that was doomed. Never seen one of those at a construction site before. There's the Royal Alex Theatre. As I walk over the Canadian Walk of Fame, there's Celine Dion. Well, her star.
I ask on behalf of my friend.
And over there we have the Roy Thompson Hall, home of the Toronto Symphony Orchestra.
Same. No, I'm not afraid of.
There's plans for a 80-story tower here, the former site of the original Upper Canada College. I hope that's not it for the Elephant and Castle. Their Yonge Street location closed down a few years ago. If you're wondering where all the traffic is on King Street, it is a designated transit priority corridor. So at most intersections, cars can't go straight through. Although this is one of a couple where they can. And straight ahead is the financial district. As well as the entrance to St. Andrew Station. So on that note, I hope you enjoyed this one, starting up at Osgoode Hall and touring around part of the entertainment district. Let me know your thoughts and comments down below. If you wish to support the channel, there's links to my Patreon and YouTube channel membership in the description. An Instagram account at Johnny Strides, as well as a TikTok account. And there is a super thanks button below the video if you wish to say thanks that way. Anywho, I've been dying to clear my nose out. I probably sound a lot more nasally now than I did at the start of the video. So, thank you for watching. Stay warm, stay safe, and I will catch you in the next one. Yoink.